you understand?
Hey everybody, I'm Tony Jones, and welcome to the Tony Jones Show.
People are willing to take the risk. It's sort of a herd mentality, a lemming-like mentality. If you don't go with the flow, you're anti-American and therefore a suspect.
The Tony Jones Show, featuring punk, rockabilly, psychobilly, and Providence, Rhode Island's finest, starts right now.
He's a dangerous militia member, I hear. Oh, and there she blows.
Friends, the time for mediocrity and broadcasting is over. My name is Tony Jones, and you are tuned in to the Tony Jones Show, your destination for talk and rock. Online at TonyJones.org, Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Don't forget to go to RIFreeRadio.org for all your web entertainment needs. Starting off with the award-winning Copacetic's Blood from a Stone. The name of that one, incidentally, a band that'll be opening up here locally for the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones on a show we talked about a few weeks ago here on the program. The fact that bands are going out there and they're playing their whole most popular CD from track 1 to the last track, and the Copacetics jumping on that bill over at the Met here locally, and then of course as the tour continues, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones with they've kind of picked out the best different ska acts from the areas to support the tour. So, you know, you'll be getting some older music, but hopefully with the opening acts, you'll be getting some newer music. We are, of course, spinning the best local music around. Quite a few things that I want to talk about. A lot of you know in this listening audience, DJ Psycho Eddie, you may know two things about me. I'm fat and I'm cheap. And Providence Restaurant Weeks are coming up, which is a great chance for you to get a great meal at a cheap man's price. So I want to talk about that in just a few minutes. I want to talk about Zima. What is going on with Zima? I want to talk about Facebook's plans for original content. Facebook wants to be the new TV. I want to talk about that. And, of course, I want to talk about Paracon in just a few minutes. We'll unfortunately be off next week because we'll be at the Ocean State Paracon. And, yes, I said it right this week. So for weeks and weeks, I've been calling it the Rhode Island Paracon. Great effort for me. Not the right name. It's called the Ocean State Paracon. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. But let's get back to the music because, of course, the Tony Jones Show is all about the rock and roll. We're going to have a double shot from Desk up next for you, starting off with Cowboys in Boston. You heard it here on the Tony Jones Show.
Got a lot to to say now. She likes to talk. Her sexy mouth is faster than her brain explains. She's got to know just what it is about her, yeah. The obvious escapes her face in the head. I need a vaccine, yeah. You're hot, but you're a problem. I need a vaccine for you. You're hot, but you're a problem. Outbreak MGH, and you wonder why. We've gone from herd immunity to herd stupidity. We listen to TVs. We listen to pretty people say please. But this media virus is a curable disease. I need a vaccine, yeah. You're hot, but you're a problem. I need a vaccine for you. You're hot, but you're a Need a vaccine, yeah. You're hot, but you're a problem. I need a vaccine for you. You're hot, but you're a problem. I need a vaccine, yeah. You're hot, but you're a problem. I need a vaccine for you. You're hot, but you're a problem.
Tony Jones here. You were tuned in to the Tony Jones Show. Coming out of Two from Desk, You're Hot, but You're a Problem, the one you've just heard. The last time we chatted, I brought you into Cowboy 2 from the now defunct Desk. If you are local, and if you're not local, I want you to go ahead and hang out and stay here on the Tony Jones Show because, of course, you know we spin the best music around. But if you are local, and that is local to the Rhode Island area, Providence Restaurant Weeks is... Now, earlier I said it's coming up. It's actually started. It started today going until July 22nd. Some of the best restaurants throughout the state. Now, the name is a little misleading because... And you can go to goprovidence.com/RW. I'm assuming RW stands for Restaurant Week. It's not just restaurants in Providence. It's actually restaurants throughout the state. And they are, just giving deep cuts in price. 2 for $1. There's some lunch specials that are about $16. A 3-course lunch for $16.95. If you go to, I dare say, a high-end fast food restaurant, a Wendy's or something of the like, you're probably going to drive out of that drive-thru spending about $10, $12, maybe $13. 3-course lunches for $16.95 as part of Restaurant Weeks. Going to have to check out the website because there are too many to list, but it is all the best restaurants that you can think of. It's not your kind of middle-of-the-road type restaurant. We're talking about the Capitol Grills, the Capriccios, the Chapel Grills of the state. So it is goprovidence.com/RW. Providence Restaurant Week starting today, going until July 22nd. As I mentioned earlier, not only am I fat and I love a good meal, but I'm also cheap. And I got to say, there are tons of restaurants on this list that I would probably not go to and pay full price, unless it was, a special occasion, someone's birthday, a bachelor party, things of that nature. But, it becomes super accessible when you go through the specials like this. So make sure you go out there, stimulate the economy, and save yourself some money. And if you're like me, have a meal that you probably would not have had otherwise had it not been on the bill for Providence Restaurant Weeks. Man, what is going on with Zima? Now, I have had Zima in the past. I haven't hit it on this new go-around where they're bringing back a summer tradition and bringing back Zima for a little while. I had Zima as a kid, not even old enough to drink yet, and we kind of had like a neighborhood, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, we were under 21, we had a neighborhood booze hag, and she would buy alcohol for you if you were under 21, and the payment for that was you had to buy her a 12-pack of Zima. So she would buy you alcohol illegally, and she wanted Zima as the pay. And then, when you got back, she would just pound 12 Zimas. But I can't say I'm a fan. I know everybody out there is enjoying it. It is going to be for a limited time only. A refreshing citrus beverage making its comeback. And a lot of people think that Zima is kind of its own thing, but it is actually a product of the Coors Light Company. And I don't remember much about the taste back in the 90s. I just wanted to, under 21, I just wanted to drink some booze. So I succumbed to the seduction that was Zima back in the 90s. And it's back for a limited time only. The music continues now on the Tony Jones Show. A better segue could not have been made. And I promise you, I don't make these segues in advance. This is Strangers with Knives up next for you. We're going to hear Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson right here. No Zima, though, on the Tony Jones Show.
Four best friends right till the end. They're Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. They've been plotting up a scheme to get me in. Now let me in, just let me in. Four best friends right till the end. They're Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. Plotting up a scheme to get me in. Now let me in, just let me in. Hey little lady, what do you say? Let's have a little roll right in the hay. Got four best friends right till the end. Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. Now it's time to close the bar. Grab the keys and to the car. Four best friends right till the end. Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. Schemes to get me in, just let me in, just let me in. Pilot schemes to get me in, now let me in, now let me in. Pilot schemes to get me in, let me in, let me in. Pilot schemes to get me in, now let me in, just let me in. So, go in the glove, pull out the gun, pull down the face mask, make some love. Got four best friends right till the end. Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. Friends right till the end. Jimmy, Johnny, Jack, and Jameson. Why let us give it to get me in? Now let me in, now let me in.
My Baby Digs Me, the name of that one, the Rhythm Coffin, right here on the Tony Jones Show. Before that, one of our favorites and a frequent Tony Jones Show guest, we heard from Worm, Girls in the Mosh Pit. And to that point, Mike Worm, I think, is going to be joining us in studio, or will be looking to join us in studio in a few weeks' time. He has some big shows coming up. Then last time we chatted, I brought you into Strangers with Knifes, Jimmy, Johnny Jack, and Jameson. 3 songs you're probably not going to hear anywhere else but right here on the Tony Jones Show. Don't forget, TonyJones.org, click on the contact page, or RIFreeradio.org, click on the contact page if you'd like to be in studio, or if you have music. For me, of course, when you send it to me, I try to send it around to all the other Rhode Island Free Radio personalities, and of course we upload it into our Rhode Island Free Radio server, which we're constantly updating and changing the playlist and changing the times. And so if you have good music, send it to me. Send it to me in an MP3 format. Just attach it right to the email. You know, don't make me jump through hoops because I just don't have the time to try to decode what you're trying to send to me. But if you send me the MP3 and you just attach it to the Gmail account, we will get it here, and we will get it out there to the internet airwaves. Now, next week we'll be at Ocean State Paracon, happening.
You were going to screw that up.
I was almost going to screw it up again. July 15th and the 16th in Harrisville, Rhode Island. Yes, the village in Burrillville, in the backwoods of Rhode Island. What a better place for a paranormal convention put together by the team at Rise Up Paranormal, of course, headed up by Ken DaCosta. DJ Psycho Eddie will be there. Chuckles will be there. Our in-studio guest last week, who was also the drummer for Tony Jones and the Cretin 3, RJ Gregory, he'll be there for the first time with Dark Lantern Curiosities. So your chance to meet a bunch of the different kind of personalities associated with the Tony Jones Show and Rhode Island Free Radio, and just a fun weekend, all for a good cause. Eddie, is there anything specifically that you're looking forward to throughout the weekend, next weekend?
Hopefully the Hawaiian Ice Guy is back, because that...
Remind me to take 2 Invocanas in the morning.
Could bring one for me, because I'm probably going to need it. No, I mean, I'm really looking forward to a couple of the presenters. They are going to be doing presentations inside the Assembly Theater.
In the air conditioning.
In the air conditioning. I may have to go, quote-unquote, check my equipment, because I will be providing sound inside and outside. Now, I'm just looking forward to just seeing all these people. And it's oddly enough, it is a convention.
Yeah.
You have the convention family that you see only once or twice a
Yeah,
year.
you know, we've talked about it in the past, but some of these conventions, it really is like a little mini family reunion of folks that you really don't get to see on the regular basis.
Yep. Well, one that's really sticking out in particular is Keith and Sandra Johnson.
Yeah.
I've had an opportunity several times to chat with them. I found out a longtime friend of mine lives literally right next door to them. And they're just great people to just chat with. Not just, you don't have to talk about paranormal.
Right, yeah.
You just, hey, how's it going? And you could pick up right where you left off at the last convention.
It's interesting, too. Well, I got to tell everyone, if you don't already follow the Tony Jones Show on Facebook, facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, I'm going to try to stream what, and it's subjective, in my opinion, though, will be some of the better panels. I'll be streaming them out to the Tony Jones Show Facebook page throughout the weekend. And I know, we're going to be out in the backwoods, but normally I think the Wi-Fi and the internet should hold up for that. And I'm sure that you'll be checking in video format throughout the weekend. And we'll, of course, share that all to the Rhode Island Free Radio Facebook page also.
Yeah, I'll definitely be doing a few live streams, live Facebook feeds. I'm looking forward to basically... it's one of the few times that I don't have my wife over my shoulder and I can talk freely for 2 straight days. I'm not being facetious about this. When my wife is there, I have a filter.
You're on your best behavior.
Not necessarily my best behavior, because she married me.
She knew what she was getting into.
She knew what she was getting into. But she, as I get older, she thinks I should be more dignified, and I'm at the point now where I just say stuff just to see the reaction.
Try to be
other
less
people
dignified. They also have we talked about that the fact that you were kind of into this stuff, but we're skeptics and we are, interested. And I've really been studying a lot about cryptozoology and stuff. But if you're hardcore into the paranormal, not only is the convention going on in Burrillville, in Harrisville throughout the weekend, but on Saturday night they have 2 separate chances for you to be part of an investigation. One happening not too far from here at the Payne House, and then one happening almost in my backyard at Smith's Castle in Wickford. Now, if you don't know, if you're not a history nerd like I am and like almost everybody here is, Smith's Castle was a big part of the Revolution and times after that, and what is known as the Great Swamp War. And a lot of the folks were taken out of the Great Swamp and buried what is now Smith's Castle, and kind of sadly enough, like a mass grave of, they just took a bunch of the soldiers that died, the Native Americans that died, dug a big hole at Smith's Castle and threw them back there. So if there is a place where, no matter what your level of skepticism or not, if there is a place where there's going to be some kind of a paranormal ping, if you will, there's nothing like a big mass grave to maybe have a little something happen, in my opinion.
There's a lot of triggers on that, the least of which is the mass grave. But I'm finding out more and more as I get a chance to talk with the paranormal people, for lack of a better term, the investigators. Yeah, that's it, the parapeeps. As I talk to them, I'm realizing more and more that there's the signs and signals that the paranormal, or that the supposed paranormal entities, they are just very easily to mistake them for an everyday occurrence. Yeah. So if you're a deceased spirit and you're listening in right now, you got to step up your game,
or at least move out.
But I'm definitely looking forward to next weekend.
That's I think too, a lot of people do have that sixth sense of, and if you've ever been to a car lot or kind of a shopping situation where the salesmen are based solely on commission, you're looking for like an appliance or furniture, you can automatically tell who the sleazeballs are if you have that sixth sense. And I think that's the same thing in the paranormal world. You can tell who the folks that are genuinely interested, want to help people, are interested in the paranormal, and you can automatically tell the sleazy people who are trying to make a quick buck off this thing.
Well, there are the few that...
like anything else, they're sleazeballs.
Yeah, well, like anything else, as you get to talk to people, there's some telltale signs, definitely red flags. Like if they're going to charge you to do a paranormal investigation at your property or your house, chances are...
They're might just trying to make a dime.
But no, a lot of the people that have been down, that are going to be down at the Ocean State Paracon, I've had a chance to chat with them, and not one of them have I ever heard, well, I didn't make money or I made money on this.
Yeah.
They never talk about money because it's not about the money. It's about helping you or just finding out what's going on, and they're not doing it to get rich. They're doing it because there's an issue and it's something they can help you with.
Let's swing back to the music now. Since we haven't played them in a few weeks' time, we're going to have a double shot of Blindside Thunder up next for you, kicking things off with My Baby Loves to Dance. You heard it here on The Tony Jones Show.
Make some time with you. You got to move.
Listen up,